All right, come on in over here. Now we're gonna go over more of like a higher pitch shot, something where we have a little bit more of a forced carry, right? If I take the energy of a putt and I putt it kind of over to the right side of the green there, that length of stroke made my ball go easily enough to jump the bunker, right? Does that stroke look like, if I used one of my other clubs, does that stroke look like it would jump the bunker? Doesn't, does it, right? Why would that be, you think? When you have a flat surface, if you've done a club fitting or you've hit on a TrackMan or whatever, you have an equation that gets pushed out there called smash factor. The flatter the surface to the ball, the more energy gets transferred. So your putter is actually, in terms of efficiency and energy transfer, your putter is actually the most powerful club in your golf bag. If you're on a TrackMan device and you hit a putt, your smash factor is about a 1.7, right? So that's more than 1.5 times. That's 1.7 times, right? On a lob wedge, it's going to be down there at like 1.2. So when you have energy transfer, when you have a flat surface like this, you have greater energy transfer on a putter. Next would be driver, next would be 3-wood, etc. So if you have a short stroke will go a long distance with a putter. A short stroke won't go a long distance with a lob wedge, right? So the really simple thing I want you to picture here is, if I had to putt through a bunker, how much energy would I need? So let's say I'm going to go to that middle flag. Okay, that looked like it had a chance even, right? So if I take my highest lofted wedge, my 60 degree, and I stand here, picture putting through the bunker, how much energy it would take to putt through the bunker, this is what it looks like. It looks similar, didn't it? Right? If all I did was take this head off and put the putter head on, we know it's not going to roll through the bunker, but we know logically how much energy we need. So that's the exercise here. When you stand up over it, I want you to picture putting your ball all the way through a bunker to a distance, because we just worked on keeping our swing shallow to the grass, right? One-handed. How far would I have to swing? How much energy would I need if I had to putt this ball through the bunker, right? What's the technique I'm using? I'm not hinging my wrist, right? I'm not opening up the face. I'm not picking it up. I'm not hitting down. I'm not trying to do something fancy like cut underneath it. All I'm doing is swinging my arm back and forth like I would a putt. You notice how still I stayed, right? I didn't open my stance. I didn't put my weight on my left leg. I didn't lean the shaft forward. I didn't do many of the things that maybe you guys have been trying to do. I just took the club, gave myself a decent lie, put it here in front, grip all the way down, pull it back, send it through. Okay, I'm not trying to do something. So that's the whole purpose of the clinic, is to really kind of simplify it. You guys can make this way more complicated at your own discretion. Okay? Now, the way I like to think about it is it's like karate, in the sense that we have white belt to black belt. When you watch TV and you see somebody open the face and do all this crazy stuff, that's like black belt level skill in what they're doing with the shot. What I'm showing you today is let's make sure we're all starting at white belt concepts and techniques, and then we'll go from there. Any questions or thoughts on that? Okay, real quick, I don't want you to necessarily do this with the one hand, but same thing with the ball position. Go ahead and play the ball position a little bit further back just like a putt. Play it very straight. Don't try to open your stance or any of that stuff. When you're here, you can maybe, if you want, try a couple one-handed, just because you're going to want to see if you can do better than your coach. But if you struggle and you shoot a couple across there, there's no shame in putting your other hand on the club. You can do this if you want. Rehearse that. Take it up to shoulder height. And then on the second hand, you're not going to see how the one arm goes much further easier. That's why it's just more of a drill. But if you can kind of stretch that arm out there and then not worry about hinging the wrist, and then keep your body down as you go through, don't look up early, don't come up onto that foot, you'll do a lot better. Yeah, very good ads, right? So if you're doing the one hand, just again, like we talked about over here, allow the club to teach you how to be a pendulum. Don't like force that club all around. Like, allow the club to teach you how to do that, and be comfortable with your setup. Nice, more casual, more narrow. All right, cool. All right, give it a shot and we'll come along and help you.